What up, y'all?
Hello.
Mutant City Horror, episode 4, back for more. Holy shit, special uninvited guest.
As always,
Ray. What up, dude?
Nothing much, man. I'm happy to be here. Very, very excited to kind of do the first podcast with you guys,
Yeah, get up on that mic a little bit.
Try it out.
Be nice to it.
Let me scoot up a bit so you guys can hear me.
Yeah, me too.
Hold on.
You know what?
To all the kids at home, we're trying to step up the production game, get the boom mic arms going, whatnot. A lot more drunk on the beginning of this one than we were last one. I think, I don't think anybody had the patience to watch 2 hours worth of Matt and I getting drunk. We figured it was better for us to start drunk.
Pre-game, right?
Yeah.
Beforehand, get it
So
going.
Raymond pulled the Glenfiddich from the cabinet.
Brand new bottle.
Well, it was.
It wasn't. It wasn't
Not
brand
so
new.
much anymore.
Yeah. We're working our way down for sure.
Man. Oh, good. Well, episode 4. Here we are. Christmas special. Kind of pulled some tomfoolery on Raymond over here. We intended on watching the Christmas classic. Was it?
Silent Night.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. Black Christmas.
Black
Christmas.
Black
is what we were supposed to
Yes,
watch.
Yes. And then what happened?
You guys did a switcheroo on me. I mean, you switched it last minute. Told me we were gonna watch Sleigh Bells, a movie I've never seen before. So it was good, kind of going into it brand new.
I think that was kind of the point, though, right?
Yeah, with no.
I mean, that's on Matt, though.
Absolutely. And I actually wanted to say once again, yes, a new podcast for you for the holiday season. And just like before, the monsters are running amok and we're running for that theater. And the marquee tonight reads Sleigh Bells, a 2018 movie made by spooky Dan Walker.
I couldn't tell if that's his actual name. Does he go by that every day? Or is that like a Simpsons, Treehouse of Horror thing where I'm making a scary Christmas movie, so I'm just going to put a...
Spooky in front of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. I feel like if you're going to put spooky Dan Walker, you should have somehow earned the title at some point. I've never heard of a fresh face director, kind of
self-proclaimed.
Right. Something I wasn't expecting.
I was pleased to see though that it did have Barry Broadway.
Fucking Raymond just jumping right into it.
I mean, looking into it because you guys surprised me with the movie, so I kind of had to do a quick IMDb to see who was in it, and to see his face come up was very, relieving, because it kind of made it a little bit okay that there was a big kind of Hollywood, maybe not big Hollywood star, but kind of big in the sense that I know him, so it made it a little bit easier for me to kind of
an easier pill to swallow.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, there's someone, it's like going to someone's house for the first time, or a big party with a friend. Maybe I take you to a party and you're like, fuck, I don't know anybody else here, and you're like, oh, there's that one guy I know.
Exactly.
Oh, okay, so this is kind of cool. This is all right.
Yes,
all right.
It made it a little bit easier.
One of the things that Matt and I started talking about after episode 3 was our rating system. Now, as you guys might guess at home, we're still trying to figure this shit out. The intent here is just to do what we do.
Yeah.
It's just watch movies, drink, and fucking have a good time. I get caught up a little bit in the minutia of wanting to make this a proper production, and we're still trying to find our niche, if you will. Yeah. And so one of those things is our rating system. And there's been zero conversation about how we rate movies. Let me take a step back. The only thing we've talked about as it relates to the rating system is Matt and I have agreed that every episode, every movie, we will determine during the show what we're going to use as the items for rating. So I think in episode 2 with Pumpkinhead, we decided in the moment that we were going to do pumpkins.
Mm-hmm.
In episode 3, we debated between sandwiches, which now when I go back and when I was editing and watching that shit, I was like, yeah, we should have fucking done sandwiches. Sandwiches is so much better. But we ended on Dippy Birds, which I don't even know if Matt remembers the whole conversation about Dippy Birds.
At the time, no, I didn't. But yeah, it rehashed itself once I gave it a proper rewatch.
Matt and I got into a little bit of a heated conversation last episode because I rated Things a 0.
0 is all around bad, right? So, I mean,
yeah, worthy of nothing,
right? So, I feel like it's fair in the sense that if the movie was worthy of nothing, it deserves a 0.
Hey, Matt, watch this. Did you listen to the last episode, Raymond?
I've only listened to a few. I haven't been able to watch the whole thing.
So you haven't. It's okay.
Came into this.
You mean you didn't take 2 hours of your life to sit there and listen?
No, I saw how long
podcast.
It was and decided, you know what, I will come back to this.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so the other kind of small part of why we do what Matt and I do is to, encourage you guys to go out and watch this shit.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's some of it's good, some of it's bad, some of it's good bad, some of it's bad like Things. But you go out, make the judgment for yourself.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We're starting anew.
And here we are today. Christmas special, episode 4, Sleigh Bells. Did I already mention that we turned the tables on you? Yeah, we said okay.
We were supposed to watch.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm drunk.
Okay, so there was a reason why I did that. And in fact, when I had brought it up to Paul, I myself didn't want to tell Paul what it was because I didn't want to go into this one knowing anything about it.
Okay.
All right. So the most I got from it was just the artwork for the movie.
How did you even find this one?
Yeah.
It was kind of a random selection. I was looking at the free library and Vudu.
On Vudu.
On the Vudu platform, and I kind of went through trying to find what it is that we're looking for on this show, and I don't know. I really don't know how to explain it.
So
nonetheless, you found it.
You're judging a book by its cover. You saw the cover art for the movie, and you're like, "Yeah, that looks like something I would watch." Let me ask you this: is it because there were big titties on the cover?
No, we're gonna get more into the tits
brings
later
everybody
on.
I know Matt. He saw some titties and was like, "I want to watch that."
Yeah, let me see.
So
what's
maybe
going on
we
with
make
this.
that the Christmas special.
No, it wasn't the tits. Believe it or not, that was just a bonus.
Well, it wasn't the Krampus fucking junk. So
the reason why I chose this instead of the prior one was because this one just seemed to fit the bill. And also, might I add, being that it's only a 2018 film, which makes it what, 2 years old?
3 years old.
3 years.
December 4th, 2018 is when it was released.
Mm-hmm.
3 years old, and this movie's already on Vudu for free. In fact, we couldn't get to it.
I don't know that that's like an accomplishment. I think like if you're on Vudu for free, you're like, fuck.
I mean,
at least we're on Vudu for free.
When you went searching for the movie, you couldn't find it, and when you finally did find it, I believe it was what, 99 cents.
99 cents.
Hold on.
For a brand new rental.
Not to rent, not for a 24 or 48-hour period.
There's movies that are 6 years old, ladies and gentlemen.
No, it's 3 years old. It's 3 years old.
There's movies
40,
that are about 6
30.
years old, and there's still about $4 to rent.
That's true. So to Raymond's point, I have a magic box that like finds anything and everything. Like there's UFC fights tonight. I can go turn on the UFC fights on the magic box. When I typed this movie in, I was like, "Oh, it's 2018. It's totally gonna find it." And yeah, there were no links to this movie.
Not one.
And then I found it on fucking Amazon Prime, and where I do rent on Amazon Prime for $3.99 a movie. This one was 99 cents. It's like, damn, this is in the dollar bin at the Dollar Tree.
Wait, it was 99 cents to rent or to own?
To rent. To
okay,
rent
my
for
mistake. I
30
thought it was
days.
99
I don't even
cents.
think that the buying price was that
I don't-
much. I don't. I didn't see the
Probably
price tag on it.
Yeah, I've paid more for shipping on shit than what this movie
I
cost me
agree.
to
Yeah,
watch.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so fucking Matt does the old switcheroo. Hey, we're gonna watch Black Christmas. Psych, we're gonna watch Sleigh Bells.
Sleigh Bells.
Yeah. And he didn't, to his credit, he didn't tell me the name of this movie until yesterday.
Okay.
But he spelt it for me over the phone. Bellles.
Okay.
And I was like, hey, are you sure there's an extra E at the end? Because, bells.
Correct.
And he was like, nope, this has got the E on it. I was like, okay, well, that's French for like girl or whatever. So maybe it's some movie about like hot girls being murdered or something. And it's a little bit on the inverse. A little bit, well, yeah, whatever. A little bit on the inverse. So that's where we landed, Sleigh Bells.
I gotta say.
I also chose this one because this just seems like something that almost nobody would cover. Like, if you really think about it, we might be the only ones that rented that movie in the first place.
Everybody's about to get their residual check for 0.01.
I would love to see the analytics on that shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're there somewhere.
Okay, so Sleigh Bells 2018, directed by Spooky Dan Walker. Again, self-proclaimed spooky. I like it spooky. Shout out to returnofthelivingdead.com.
Look at these coasters.
Got my t-shirt from returnofthelivingdead.com. The coaster is provided by the same website. The Kickstarter.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the Kickstarter kind of just put everything in order. Hey, you get a couple Return of the Living Dead merchandise, which hasn't really been seen in God knows how long.
They're putting out a lot of good shit.
A lot of good.
Matt, walk us through a quick synopsis.
Hold
on. It's worth emphasizing the spelling of the movie. Again, Bells is Belles. Sleigh is not your traditional sleigh. It's Slay. So Sleigh Bells, Belles. Go ahead, Matt. Give us a quick synopsis on this movie.
The quickest synopsis I can come up with is a movie about Krampus running rampant, not only killing and murdering children this time, he's actually going after anybody that gets in his way and has a very rapey vibe as well.
Is that because of his very large boner that we all got to see?
Big junk in the trunk. Yeah.
You're hairy like animal.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, this movie, let's kind of start from the beginning, I guess. Let's quarterback this shit. Two girls have their own YouTube channel.
Correct.
Action. What was it called? Action Girls.
Somebody
wrote it down.
Girls, yeah.
Action Girls.
Adventure Girls.
Adventure
Girls.
That's it.
Adventure Girls.
Yeah, Adventure Girls.
And
then they got kind of like a first timer homie, kind of like you, right?
Yeah.
So like
just
coming in on a brand new episode.
Pair of eyes,
Her name is Alexi.
Yep.
Alexi, played by an actor named either Kristen or Krista. I don't remember. I wrote it down drunk. So Christine Kebelos?
Yep.
Dude, I'm fucking that up. Let me see.
Christina
Klebe.
Yep.
Sorry. Oh, apologies, Miss Klebe or Mrs. Klebe. I apologize.
Yes.
Not a lot of work before this. I think I mentioned during the movie, she played one of Laurie's friends in the Rob Zombie version of Halloween, which maybe taboo to say here is my favorite version of Halloween.
It's a very dark take on the Halloween.
Matt and I have talked about this. I don't know if it was in episode 3 or 2. But Matt doesn't like it because it gives Michael Myers a backstory.
Yeah.
And that's why I like it. And fucking Matt was like, hey, I'm gonna tell you the name of the movie that we're gonna watch this week, but like, don't look it up. And I was like, I got you, bro. I'm not gonna look it up. Tell me the name. And he told me the name.
First thing,
Very
hesitant,
hesitant.
And then I looked it up.
Very hesitantly because I knew this guy was already on the search engine.
Yeah, absolutely.
His fingers were already on the keys.
Yeah. But while I was doing that, I didn't know exactly who she was in Halloween.
Correct.
She's listed as Lauren or something that's not Lori.
Okay, so just one of
Linda
the
or
friends.
something. Yeah, something like that. So searching YouTube, and I found a couple of videos of her, and then I searched Google, saw some pictures, and she's just some random friend of Lori's that gets murdered in the background.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know.
So nothing real big before this. Then.
Yeah, yeah. She was kind of the first name that I saw. However, Barry Bostwick playing Santa Claus
I'm
in this
telling you.
movie. Fucking Brad Majors
absolutely.
from
Rocky Horror Picture
yeah,
Show.
thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fucking drunk.
And the mayor from Spin City and countless
Dude, that was
episodes
your show for a very long time, right?
Spin City was my show, and I continue to watch it when it comes on TV. And I think I have the first 2 seasons on DVD, and I'll just rewatch those at times because it is a very funny show. So if you guys haven't seen that, go check Spin City out as well. First 2 seasons has Michael J. Fox, and then moves on to Charlie Sheen because of his Parkinson's and kind of took over a little bit more. He couldn't do it as much. So yeah, no, I was very excited to see him as Santa Claus. And like I said, countless episodes of Law and Order and just other things. So it was fun to kind of see him.
So Barry Bostwick from Rocky Horror Picture Show. We've got Christina Klebe from Rob Zombie's Halloween. I was super stoked because as I was going through the IMDb and looking at the cast, I did see that there was an entry for Diane Salinger. Now, truth be told, I have fucking no idea who Diane Salinger is.
Okay.
But I was like, let me click on her. Let me see what she's been in. She's the waitress from Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure. He takes that truck ride from Large
With
Marge,
Large
remember?
Marge,
And he gets out of the truck and she's like, tell him Large Marge sent you. Yeah. So she's the waitress in that scene. Okay, so Matt, walk us through what this movie is. Where does it start? How does it go? Give us the 10-second
Play-by-play.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
No, that's just a metaphor. Give us the quick and easy, the quick and dirty.
Okay, well, I mean, we get introduced to the main characters right off the bat. By the way, again, I tell you guys, spoiler alert. So that's your warning. This film's about these 3 girls, right? They're running around what it appears to be Santa's Village.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're from California, you know all about Santa's Village. Don't really know the purpose of these girls other than they got their YouTube channel. They're just trying to keep just like we are, trying to keep our followers on the up.
Like and subscribe.
Sorry guys, we don't have the tits, but
well, I mean, I'm getting there. Perla says I'm getting there.
They go running around. They somehow just incidentally run into Krampus, who happens to be just moseying around for whatever reason.
Well, there's a little bit in between. I mean, they're
doing like a photo shoot at this village.
That's what it is.
What was it called? They're action girls,
Adventure Girls.
Adventure Girls. So Adventure Girls is a YouTube channel where these 2 chicks, they just go and find. They're kind of like the Scooby Doo of their genre.
I totally. Sorry.
Let's go ahead because
I totally got that same vibe.
Yeah, when
the Scooby Doo.
They had the van.
They're in the van.
Yeah,
it's very Scooby Doo, Jay and Silent Bob.
Only Skeevy Stoners fart.
Yeah, exactly. That kind of vibe I'm getting from that. Yeah, it was very up into this. adventure park or Santa's village where they were gonna go take pictures. And
So it's Christmas time.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say not to mention they stopped at that rusty old bar, and you know they stopped.
Well,
at the
yeah.
bar.
So Christmas time, they're on their
Yes.
way up to this like abandoned Christmas
Abandoned
village.
Christmas,
Right.
yeah.
Right. No one's been there for a long time. There's some mystery. Oh, my bad. There's some mystery surrounding like the whole like closure of the park. And so they get there. Well, before they get there, they stop at the bar. And that's where we meet Diane Salinger for the first time. She's the
Yes.
bartender. And then there's some dude sitting at the bar in a Christmas suit. And
Absolutely. Yeah.
fucking, not a cop, but a park ranger rolls up on this dude and is like, hey, your parole officer says you're not supposed to be in costumes. And we were all like, what the
What's going
fuck?
on here?
And the first thing that came to mind was like, well, maybe he's not supposed to be in costume because he's like maybe he's got busted for like, he's a sex offender or some shit.
Right, you know,
And that's what it was,
Child
right?
predator type
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like, you know, it's not the drinking or something.
Yeah,
you know, like
right.
he's supposed to stay off the drinking or
Mhm.
you know the bad habits or something. But yeah, you totally nailed that shit.
Yeah. So the girls are like, fuck this place. We're out of here. We're going up to Santa's village. And they get there and like, it's proper like Santa's village. It's abandoned. And I think to Raymond's point, you were saying it's probably shot during the summer because
Yeah, no, I'm
It just-
assuming because it's probably free or
Empty,
maybe like
it's not in
you know,
play.
It's less cost for them to rent out the entire village.
I will say it was a little confused because they have this like sky track.
It was like
Like-
a bee, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
a bee. Everything
Yeah.
else was Christmas themed,
Except for this.
but the fucking carts on the sky track were like yellow and black.
No,
Yeah.
but that's there though at Santa Village.
Is it
Santa
really?
Village. Yeah, I still remember it from like the old TV commercials and
Oh
stuff.
my goodness! What?
Well-
I mean, that's such a everything's Christmassy, and then you have this bumblebee that's in there.
I think it just falls in line. It's all colorful and bubbly and shit, you know,
Yeah.
so family friendly.
Maybe.
That's why I guess they were going for that, you know.
Well, so the girls get there. It's the two regulars. Alexi is the new girl. That's played by Christine. Again, I'm gonna fucking butcher her name. I'm gonna look at Raymond's
it's
notes.
okay. Let me go ahead and come back to it.
Christine Keblos or whatever her name is.
There it is.
Yeah.
Christina.
Klebe. Christina Klebe. Here, let me write this down. Christina
Klebe.
Klebe. Perfect.
And I want to make a note too that she Christina Klebe, who played Alexi, was also like in this. They were all wearing kind of like costumes to begin with on the ride up to Santa's village, and she was wearing like a Coraline get up with the blue hair and the yellow trench coat. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, Coraline.
No. No.
Okay, yeah, she was dressed like Coraline, and I don't know if that was like a little nod to that film.
I know
or
of it.
not.
I've just never seen it.
Okay, yeah.
But are you sure that was her? Because there was
Yeah.
that girl.
Sadie, I think, was the blue one.
Sadie.
Yeah.
Sadie was
Not
the blue one.
Alexi.
Yeah.
Alexi was the one with like the dark purple hair. She's the one that ends up wearing the
Mhm.
like red and white
Short.
Santa-
I'm
Short.
drunk. I don't know.
whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, these three chicks, they make it up to some bar. They meet the bartender, who's the waitress from Pee Wee Herman.
And for some
Uh,
reason, she's an old lady that has big tits as well.
Well,
You
she's
notice
old.
that?
A lot
But
of them
she's-
were wearing the brassiere that kind of just enhanced it all.
No,
but yeah.
I think they just went down the road. They're like, everybody on this cast has to have big shit,
have
big
to have
tits.
big tits. That's it.
Well, okay, not to get too
Because
like
the mother later on, as we find out too. one
Hey
of the
man,
mothers-
gratuity sells.
One of the mothers also has, you know.
not to get too far off on a tangent because I do want to circle back on this later, but like I think because of all the EDM that's in this movie,
Oh yeah.
like an excessive amount of EDM, they're like, well, the titties got to match the music, and the music's got to match the titties. So like,
Let's go for a very European kind of style.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I even have that in my notes, like just EDM everywhere.
okay, so the girls get to the bar, and they're off put by the bartender, who's played by the Pee Wee Herman chick, and then there's the sex offender Santa Claus sitting at the bar, which his T-shirt reads "Bieber Forever" or something like that.
Something like that.
And then so they're like, fuck this place, we're out. And they end up at Santa's Village. Now, Santa's Village is abandoned at this point. So everything is just fucking wide open. They're walking around. No one's looking at them. Now, there are cameras in the trees. So someone is watching their activity, doing what they're doing, but the girls don't really understand that that's happening. They feel like someone's watching them, but they don't know that those cameras are there. So they're running around nonetheless, and they're doing their thing. They're, fucking
Frolicking
duck
about.
lips and, posting, doing live streams and shit like that.
Trying to pull out axes from tree stumps.
Yeah.
In
There was that
heels.
too. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. But then they get to a point where they find themselves in like a cooler, like a refrigerator kind of
I
walk-in.
would say it's a fair way to
I've
describe
worked
that.
in enough restaurants / fast food to recognize like a walk-in freezer, and that's what they were in. And I couldn't help but wonder if like, okay, well, everything else is off. Is the freezer on or off? But whatever. And that's where they start hearing the rumblance of like some mysterious thing in the background. And then we start seeing images of this fucking big ass, like 6 foot whatever, human / fucking monster.
Yeah, and I think the first initial shot of him, if anybody out there is a fan of The Office, it looked like Dwight Schrute dressed as Belschnickel. With just the basket and just the oversized.
Let's see if I can find that real quick.
Yeah, pull it up. The oversized green suit. Maybe not so much the horns, but the first initial shot, I was like, that's totally Belschnickel, because that's just what he resembled. And
What is a Belschnickel?
I believe almost similar to Krampus, where it's just
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah,
No, why?
it's a
It
German
kinda sounds
version
like that.
of Santa Claus, I guess, as Dwight puts it, but I'm not really 100% sure.
This is it right here, right?
That is him in his getup.
So let me bridge the gap here. So the girls are running around. This creature that looks like Belschnickel is coming around. But before that, there was a scene where like one of the girls walked up to like some tree stump and she found some like very brand new, very clean,
Never before used.
yes, Santa boots.
Random Santa boots just sitting around, This whole place looks like it's gone to shit, hit the apocalypse, and just gutted out. And for some reason, there's these random Santa boots.
And
just
what does she
sitting
do
there.
with those Santa boots?
She tries them on.
She didn't even
Because why
try them
not?
on. She
Because
just
why
put them
not?
on.
Because why not?
She's like,
Because why not?
these are gonna fit.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
exactly.
just kick off my shoes
Now,
and put these on.
Does she wear those throughout the rest of the film?
You know what? I don't know,
I did
dude.
not notice.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't even know what the point of putting them on was. I don't even know if there was a point.
I don't
In
think
fact,
there
I don't
was.
even know where they were going with the script at this point.
Yeah. It was it was still a little confusing.
I laugh at the term. Sadie's like, script what?
Yeah.
Okay, so the girls find themselves in this meat locker or whatever, and some loud noises. Enter Krampus, big 6 foot whatever dude, fucking goat horns. Like, I will say, the makeup and the special effects on Krampus, pretty legit.
Yeah, pretty legit. I feel like a lot of their money was spent on that.
Well, here's
And
the thing.
some of the special effects, as we'll talk about. A little bit later.
I don't know what the budget was for this movie or how much was spent on what, but as I was looking up Spooky Dan Walker, again, self-proclaimed Spooky Dan Walker, he's got like 120-ish IMDb credits.
Mhm.
Approximately half of those are special effects credits, and on some really fucking high-end movies like fucking Star Trek and all kinds of shit. So it leads me to believe the dude knows what he's doing from a special effects perspective. He also wrote and directed and produced this movie,
Right.
but he's a special effects guy. So I'm watching this movie and thinking to myself, like, a lot of this stuff looks really good.
Yeah, it
The
did.
cinematography looks great. The lighting looks great. Like, the special effects are fucking awesome. But like, the script or lack thereof is just fucking
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah, absolutely.
This didn't really strike me as the type of movie that was ready to hit the big time or anything like that. Though.
Straight to DVD.
And I think that's big time for him right there. Because as hard as it was to find this goddamn thing, that wouldn't surprise me if they struggled on
I
that.
was a little surprised. It was
distribution was
yeah.
no go there.
Yeah. Okay, so Krampus, what we know to be Krampus, enters the meat locker that all the girls are in. They freak out. They run. They're fucking trying to figure out where they're going to find shelter. They run into some fucking random, like, little, I don't know, what would you call it? Like a little village caboose or house or whatever.
Just like a little shed almost, really.
And who comes to their rescue?
The caretaker of Santa's village.
Which is?
Ends up being Santa.
That's Santa Claus. Yes, absolutely.
Spoiler
Santa
alert,
Claus. Sorry,
again.
I'm over here kind of drunk.
Barry Bostwick.
Barry Bostwick as Santa shows up. just magically appears.
Right, he didn't denounce himself as Santa at first.
Which surprises me because he was the one, as we find out later, he was the one watching these cameras, correct?
Yes. So that's a good side note. There were the cameras that were in trees as the girls were walking around, and they did kind of cut. There were some cutscenes of some biker dude with like a leather biker vest, fucking black bandana, white beard, just chilling, drinking Coronas, watching this footage. And then sure enough, this is the guy that comes to their rescue
with his magic wand.
So my big thing was, if you're able to know everything and see everything as Santa Claus, why do you need surveillance cameras to know what's going on?
Why you got to throw logic into this shit?
Yeah, I know.
This podcast has no place for logic.
Yeah,
that's
right out the window.
I'm just throwing out the booming. Sorry, I'm throwing it out there. Why do you need the camera?
Whatever. Well, because we don't know that he's Santa up front.
I guess.
And like, I don't think Santa's like a oracle and like
right. He's not
see all be all. Like he just like he knows you, and if you've been good or bad.
That's
right.
It.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
He doesn't know what's happening in the woods like at this fucking moment. So Santa's got cameras everywhere.
All right.
So
and he might be a little rustic.
good note for you kids out there.
Right. He might be a little rustic too. If you think about it, he's probably been out of practice for X amount of years being a recluse up there in the woods.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, that's the only thing I guess. I don't know. Again, logic goes right out the window.
All right.
Okay, so the girls run into this cabin. They end up finding out that this is Santa's. Well, they don't know that it's Santa's cabin. They're in the cabin. They call 911.
It's very Christmassy, by the way. Sorry.
What do you mean? The cabin?
Well, the cabin itself.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like the curtains are like candy stripe, and there's a big Corona bottle on the wall. I mean, what says Christmas more than a big ass fucking Corona bottle on your wall?
Yeah,
you know?
that. You got the fireplace.
With the reindeer on top of the wall with the like a mount.
Who was the one that asked,
red nose?
where are the reindeer at? Was that Perla?
I think it was Perla.
So, Perla. Yeah.
Okay, we'll put a pin on that for the second. So they get into this cabin. They're freaking out. They call 911. 911 was like, stop fucking calling us. You're a joke. You're crank calling. Blah, blah, blah. We're not listening to you. Yeah, you're calling from fucking Santa Lane or Christmas Lane or whatever it's called. And you're being attacked by a monster. Blah, 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 blah. They didn't believe him. And then fucking Santa shows up through his own chimney and lay some fucking Christmas magic on these bitches, and they're like, "Oh my God, you are Santa Claus!" And they get the whole night. And then he starts to talk about what it is that they were running from. This is where we learn that the monster they're running from is Krampus, who's like now I've been predisposed to Krampus, so I know Krampus to be like the eater of children, right? So Santa doesn't deliver to bad kids. He delivers to the nice kids, but the naughty kids are eating up by Krampus. That's my understanding of it. Thank you, American Dad, for explaining to me who Krampus is. Because I didn't watch the movie until after I watched the episodes of American Dad in which
American
Krampus
Dad.
was explained to me.
The better version of Family Guy.
100%.
Yeah.
Fuck Peter.
Yes. Yeah. Peter's very pro Family Guy.
And I won't go as far as to say that. I mean, we as the audience already kind of knew what we were looking at anyways. We already understood it was Krampus, but, it wasn't dispelled.
I feel like recently Krampus has made like a bigger statement. Like he's more in the picture now with Christmas. He's more associated now, especially with the horror fans, because there are a lot of us now out there. And I feel like everyone's just aware of him. So it's just, more things are being made.
I can get behind that. Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Gives a whole new take, a whole new look at the Christmas spirit.
Correct.
The logic behind what they're saying at this moment is not only is that Krampus, but for whatever reason, Krampus is going out of his norm. He's not just out for the kids.
He's not just out for the bad kids. He's out for everyone.
Right.
There was also some note, like some homage to like the fact that he was frozen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just
Santa
wanted to make
had kept him frozen.
I wanted to make that clear for a second, because as we skip forward, right? Okay, Santa's explaining to the girls, this is who Krampus is. This is what he does. He's been frozen for a long time because he's a piece of shit. Right. Okay, cool. Great. We got it. All in the meantime, we're learning that in the surrounding city, the police department is getting calls about like dead bodies and
missing children.
Yeah. Okay.
Those are works.
So then we cut to like, okay, let's go do something about Krampus, right? Like he's out there. We're in here. We want to get out of here. We want to get back to our regular lives. So let's go kill this motherfucker. Yep. And Santa's like, pump your brakes, because like Krampus and I are like, we're bonded, we're connected,
like Harry and Voldemort.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I haven't watched all of Harry Potter. So.
No, but I get it. I get it.
Okay, all right. So here's my thing, right? So, spoiler alert. Fast forward to closer to the end. Whatever damage you inflict on Krampus, you inflict on Santa. So if I punch Krampus in the balls, which is a real scene in the movie, Santa's going to feel it in his balls. So how can you freeze Krampus and not freeze Santa?
Oh, you got to bring logic into this.
Oh, my bad.
No, and you know what? That is funny. That is funny, but I actually do think there's some logic to that. But I'll go through that in a second. Let's talk about the fact that you said frozen and stuff. Well, now that I'm coming to, they found him in the freezer, like you said, right? The walk-in refrigerator.
Well, to be fair, he was running around before he ended up in the freezer.
Correct.
Well, maybe he got out.
But that's like his chill spot. No pun intended.
I believe that.
I mean, if we're going to go ahead and go into like a little bit of a deep dive of why, is it that he can freeze Krampus because Santa lives in the North Pole, so he's always cold anyways?
Oh, look at this!
That's fucking too much logic.
That's deep. Well, he brought it up, not me.
No, yeah, that's too much logic.
That tells me that you're not as drunk as I am.
Let's go ahead and do this.
That tells me you're not as drunk as I am.
I don't know. We are down to the last sip of this.
Yeah,
bottle.
most of that shit is me. Okay, so the girls find him in the freezer. They freak out. Dude, I'm so fucking backwards.
Okay, no, they're inside the cabin.
So Santa is saying, "Hey, look, you can't kill this motherfucker without like hurting me. We're connected." I don't think he said that, but he was like, "We're connected." So
implied it.
Yeah,
implied.
Sure. Why not?
Let's go with that.
So then what? Like, there's just like a little bit of time of like Krampus running around killing people.
Yeah, he goes through and he starts killing. You start seeing little shots of him killing like neighborhood families and whatnot. I mean, very, very small, very small clips that have. I mean, I don't want to say nothing to do with the movie, but I mean, yeah, they're very small, and you see him kind of decapitating people and eating people, and then he starts putting these people in boxes and in presents.
I don't even know that they were people. They just look like big dump nuggets. Like,
yeah, maybe
like he took a shit in a
he was
box.
like eating and vomiting, or he was like regurgitating and putting into these boxes these. I don't know what you call them. Just
they look like hairballs.
Hairballs.
Like he was just
hairballs.
putting in Christmas present boxes.
And he was using his own blood to like drench it and then put it away.
Okay, so I wasn't wrong, right? Because there was that scene where like he like bit his arm, like a vampire and shit. Mm-hmm. I only say that because we were watching an interview with the vampire last night, and he was like, So he bites his arm and he's bleeding and he's like putting it over like whatever these little fur babies are. And I was like, dude, is he like marinating his own food with his own blood?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
We kind of find out later kind of what these things become, but we'll get to that one when we get there.
So instead of calling 911, the girl, what does she call? She calls her boyfriend first, right?
Well, 911 dismisses her as a joke.
Correct.
So it's not like she said, "Hey, I'm not going to not call 911." I think she called her
boyfriend first. They had to take the phone from her to actually call 911.
She texted him, and he was like, kind of busy.
Yeah, she was texting him inside.
His response was kind of busy.
Kind of busy.
But so they end up calling 911. 911 dismisses them, whatever. And
so now it's up to them and this Santa character.
And let's just say too that like they were concerned, right? The dispatcher, I think, was the most concerned for these people that were getting killed, the ones that were calling in and, hey, I'm this is what's going on. And she's like, oh, these kids are dying or whatever. And the police are just kind of like, not again, or not this person. Maybe you sent somebody out that way. Like, I felt like they weren't very, like, rushing to these people's aid, if that makes sense. Like, they were just kind of like, another one's dead? Oh, well.
Well, yeah, I mean, because jumping ahead, the girls were calling in from Santa's Village, and we're like, hey, we're calling from Santa's Village. Like, we posted ourselves up in this house and whatever. And the dispatcher was like, you're full of shit.
Correct.
But then more towards the end where the sheriff was like, hey, there's these like weird cars spotted at Santa's Village. And she's like, Santa's Village? Oh my God, that's where those girls were calling from earlier. And like, oh, maybe there was some truth to that. And like, oh, I think I fucked up. I think that's where that kind of lines up. It wasn't until they actually captured Krampus, and they one of the chicks had a fucking taser. So it was in that scene.
Attempted rape.
We're at the attempted rape. But if we want to get there, let's go ahead and get there.
Girl goes running out. She's running away from Krampus. Krampus gets on top of her, ready to ride the hobby horse. Licking her face, and then they just
hold on. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but I will say that like neither one of you caught that shit. I was the one who was like, let me rewind this real quick.
Correct.
Did we just see?
It was a very
Did we
fast,
just see?
And that's what I was just gonna get.
Krampus penis.
It was like that scene in Fight Club where it just penis, but you missed it if you didn't pause it. You had to go back.
The cigarette burns.
That's right. Because you had to rewind it and stop it.
Had to stop it
to actually catch
just
it.
That quick splice.
And there we get a Krampus boner right in our eyes.
Dude, and that thing was in like 3D.
Yeah, it was literally popping at you. I mean, like this mic to my face.
The one-eyed monster.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So
and it's funny how you caught it out of all of us. Just said, did I just see penis? Hold on, let me go ahead and rewind this.
I would have never caught it had you not done that. That was amazing.
I mean, I attention to detail.
Thinking about it now, I think the only reason I know about that splice scene in Fight Club was because of you. You rewound it back to watch that scene. Raymond, did you miss it? Let me show you.
Well, that was probably me, like more like
in depth with
everything of this movie because it's so good.
Correct.
I mean, shout out to Fight Club. That movie's fucking awesome,
amazing.
But like Krampus penis, it was there, and it wasn't just like flaccid or everything. It was just like fucking like Z axis, like.
I'm
fucking
very
boner.
surprised that we got Krampus penis versus some titties.
No, they showed tits.
When?
Yeah, when the girls were changing.
I miss it?
Yes, you did miss it.
I think
If you don't-
probably got
If
up
you
at
didn't
that
see
moment.
titties,
Oh my
you
goodness
missed
gracious.
it. You missed it.
Because my big thing was, okay, it can't be a slasher horror film, slasher horror film without titties.
Oh, they had the tits.
There were titties.
I missed it.
They hit him with the fucking taser, and then he's knocked out. And then that's where they show the scene of him with his fucking Z-axis boner, just like
3D.
yeah. But that's when we find out because they tie him up and they bring him into the cabin, and he's knocked out.
Well, they get
so is Santa. Santa's knocked out too.
They get him knocked out because did they tase him or did they shoot him with the tranquilizer gun?
No, they had the tranquilizer, which is funny because Santa was like dishing out weapons, and he was like, "Okay, girl number 1, you get this big ass like 9mm looking fucking tranquilizer gun.
Right.
Girl number 2, you get some like nunchucks, and then like girl number 3, you get these like candy canes.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
I was like, "What the fuck?" It just went like from 100 to like 50 to like, "Good luck."
Yeah. On you.
So they subdue him with the fucking taser.
They get him into the
boner.
cabin. They
Bring him
tie
into the cabin. Tie him up.
Christmas lights.
With
And
Christmas lights.
If anyone's ever put up Christmas lights, you know they're not very strong. So no matter how tight you tie them, I'm sure you can get out of them.
Oh, but these girls were geniuses, though.
Oh yeah, they were top of their class.
So Krampus and Santa are both knocked out, sleeping. The difference between the two was that Santa was snoring and Krampus was not. So that's when I didn't even put it together at that point. My wife, Perla, was like,
right.
"Oh, they're both knocked out because they're tied to each other in that way."
Correct.
What one feels, the other feels. And I was like, "Oh, shit." I didn't even make that connection.
I actually took it as Perla had the knowledge already that, that that might be in the lore in itself. Being that, you got these polar opposites, Santa Claus and Krampus and stuff. I mean, it's not lore I ever heard of, but the way she called it sounded to me like she kind of was familiar with the lore in itself. Unless she caught it like right before we did.
The word I want to use for it is juxtaposition. I'm bad at words, and I'm drunk. But like the comparison of one thing to the other when they're kind of similar, juxtaposition. That's the type of relationship that I felt that Krampus had with Santa, and vice versa. Like they are one of the same but opposite at the same time.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
right.
So Krampus is knocked out, Santa's knocked out, and they tie up Krampus because they know he's dangerous, but Santa's cool. But then at a certain point, Krampus wakes up and Santa wakes up at the same time, and then they just start fucking going at it all over again.
And let's just say when Krampus got out, I mean, when he woke up and Santa woke up at the same time, Krampus immediately just got out of those.
Yeah,
those Christmas lights that
you're telling me those Christmas lights weren't going to hold him?
Right,
oh my god,
this was nothing.
That was a bombshell, dude.
Thank you guys for decorating me. And let's not forget the fact too,
they
that these
did
girls
took
selfies with Krampus. Let's not forget that these girls took selfies with Krampus.
That did happen
for Instagram, right?
They did it for their
a lot of scenes of like for the gram,
for their Adventure Girls gram. I'm sure just selfies galore.
Right, he gets up, not what they expected. I forgot where it went from there. I'm drawing a blank here.
Well, they both wake up.
Yeah.
And they fight Krampus is like, they fight for a little bit, and then Krampus fucking bolts out the door. And then Santa's like, "Hey, Adventure girls.
Yeah.
Like, let's get a plan going."
Right.
And all at the same time, like, the police department's getting all these calls about, like, mutilated bodies, kids missing. Like, everything's kind of, like, coming to, like, some accumulation. Sorry. Slip of the tongue. Accumulation of, like, okay, everyone's going to be on the same page now, and we understand that this Krampus thing is happening. So,
well, that time that he got up, and then Santa was ready for combat, whatever. Like you said, he ran out of the house, and I remember that moment too because we all kind of laughed at it, like, okay, that's that was kind of random, but. Is it just me, or did I miss the time that Santa Claus actually followed him outside? You remember that? They were having that ultrasonic light battle outside with all their magic.
Their magic, yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember. I see. I don't remember Santa actually leaving the cabin.
I'm really drunk. So, I can't remember how drunk I was before I'm really drunk. Sorry.
I think that was a flaw
which was
in the
yes.
filming. Yes.
Anyways, keep going.
No, that's why I wanted to point that out because that was one of the things I was like, did I fucking miss that? Or, because I don't remember him going after him. I remember him still being there inside the cabin.
I gotcha.
But whatever the case, they banded together at that moment, right? And they did that whole oh, we're badasses. We got these weapons. We're gonna tear some shit up kind of thing. Like you said, candy cane.
Well, it was funny because Santa was dishing out weapons, and the first weapon was this 9mm looking thing that Raymond was like, oh, maybe that's just like a tranquilizer gun. I was like, okay, sounds good. It looked like the fucking revolver from Tim Burton's Batman where fucking the Joker just pulled out that fucking long ass 6-shooter and shit, and it was like the barrel on the gun was like this fucking big, and I was like, oh, that's kind of the same thing. And then the next weapon was candy cane nunchucks, and then the weapon after that was like a flashlight.
There was a bow.
I was like, what the fuck?
That one chick had a bow.
Oh yeah.
Well, that wasn't until later. Until they were fucking.
I thought we were on that scene. My bad.
I don't know.
It's one of the same.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Worth noting, this bottle is dead.
Dead. It's done. Nothing left.
Yeah, you can put that away.
Did you guys hear that? That was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It sounded like we were in a cave or some shit right now.
Okay, so Krampus escapes. They all weapon up, and then it's like, okay, let's go back out.
Oh, don't forget the battle pose too.
Oh, the battle pose selfie. Yet another selfie for them. And their adventure girls, Graham.
Gotta do it for the gram.
I mean, who took the picture? Because it was the boyfriend.
It was
right?
the ranger.
The ranger who showed up, right?
Yeah.
Who was the ranger at the bar who showed up questioning the dude in the Bieber Forever t-shirt and Santa outfit. Was like, hey, you're a registered sex offender and there's children missing, so you're the guy. And he's like, nah, I've been here the whole time, bro. And he's like, nah, it's suspect.
Let's not overlook that plastic badge.
So I have it.
Plastic badge.
Yeah, I also have it in my notes that all the cop outfits very fake. I mean, just over the top.
I was gonna say you can't expect much.
Come on,
from this kind of budget. So.
And for those wondering, the child predator, rapist, whatever he is, does end up dead. At some point.
If that makes you guys
is that like vindication?
Yeah, he was a child predator, and now he's a dead child predator.
Right, that's another thing too. They put him as another character to just kind of write off and stuff. Yeah, another character to kill, which is entertainment for us and stuff like that. But what was the point of showing his body later on again? There was no logic, but we can't expect that.
Now, before we get to the end, I will say I was kind of off put by the fact that a large majority of this movie was done during the day.
Absolutely.
And so kind of what I mentioned in the last episode, I don't know, by, being the kind of unfounded self-proclaimed producer of this podcast, watching nothing but fucking YouTube videos on lighting and editing and fucking all that bullshit. It was kind of difficult for me to see majority of this movie was shot in the daylight.
And I
maybe you're trying to maximize on the fact that you have really good lighting because it's Arrowhead, so there's not a lot. Maybe there's not a lot of clouds out, and you can just take advantage of all that lighting.
I mean, that was one of the first things I had put down, is that it was just too much lighting. I think
for all of the daytime outdoor scenes, it was
you didn't make it very dark.
They didn't balance the contrast.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, for sure.
I was really disappointed.
But nonetheless, like we said earlier, I think the way that they shot it, a lot of the scenes, a lot of the camera angles, a lot of like the quality of the video was really good.
Oh yeah, it was. It had really good production value for sure.
So kind of fast forward, the girls are out, Santa's out, they're all ready to fucking gung-ho, go find Krampus, let's kill this motherfucker, or at least try to find a way to do it
to stop
without killing Santa, because they're connected in some way.
But they still didn't really quite understand that yet. So
they hadn't explained it at that point. Yeah. So
it wasn't until the upcoming scene where that actually came.
Describe that scene for us, Matt.
So just out of the clear blue, bartender lady shows up, the one that you were talking about.
So we're kind of moving fast forward towards the end, right? So
we're at the end.
All right, so we're running around. It's nighttime now.
Yeah,
right?
So we're from daylight to night.
So the girls have weapons. They're out actively looking for Krampus. And they come across him, and they're fucking battling. There was a dick punch to Krampus, right? That's what you get for having a boner.
Which also hurt Santa. Which also hurt Santa.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
And then a motorcycle, of all things, comes rolling in. Now, we had made the comment earlier, too, that before Santa actually shows himself in his full Santa Claus uniform, kind of looked like a biker, right? That's what you had mentioned, Paul.
Dude, he had the sleeveless vest.
Right.
The patch on the back read Silent Night, but spelled KNIGHT. Like, dude, I watched Sons of Anarchy. I know what
this means.
I know what a patch looks like. Fool's got a black fucking bandana on. He's got fucking braids in his beard.
Yeah, we didn't even mention that.
Yeah, he's got braids in his beard. Yeah. He's a biker.
And so as they're fighting, this motorcycle pops up, kind of very familiar. That's kind of what reminded me of that. And it was the bartender lady. What was her name?
Well, the actor name is Diane Salinger.
Okay.
But I don't have reference of what her character name was in the movie. Cherry?
Which makes sense for a bartender / old lady.
With the fuck Christmas knuckles.
Tattoos,
tattoos.
Fuck FUCKXMAS.
Yeah,
fuck Christmas.
She was very against Christmas. When the girls walked into the bar, she was very negative.
Yep. Just comes out of the open into the clear blue. Looks like she's there to save the day, right?
Absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and stop this fighting. I'm going to go ahead and make it right. Don't worry. She even says to the park ranger, get the girls to safety and get them out.
Right. She looked like she came in. She's ready to kick some ass as well.
Correct.
And that's when she reveals to us. We get the impression now that she is actually Mrs. Claus. Who had?
Yes. Yeah. Because there was some question early in the movie, like, well, where's Mrs. Claus?
Right.
Where are the reindeer?
Correct.
Where are the elves?
Right.
Because when Santa revealed himself to the girls as Santa Claus, they were like, bullshit. I mean,
no, you're not.
Rightfully so. It's 2018. So
where's all the magic? Where's all your elves? Or
where's all your reindeer? Where's Mrs. Claus? Where are these things?
It was a question of like why two or why this, why
not
that, and he's all like, why do you wear high heels?
It's totally dismissive, right? Which is what I loved about the scene in the end, because when homegirl pulls up on the bike, she starts talking shit to Santa, and she's like, I stuck through all this bullshit with you back in the day,
right?
When the business failed, business insinuating being Santa.
Right.
When we had no money and we had to eat the reindeer to survive, I was like, dude, there
Back to the
it
reindeer.
is. Because
We
that
now
was the
found out what
question. It was like,
happened.
where's the reindeer? Oh, they fucking had to
Ate 'em.
eat them to survive, dude. That is legit.
Yeah.
And no
Absolutely.
wonder why Rudolph's head was on the wall in the
Mounted on the
background.
wall, absolutely.
And I
yeah.
shit you not, people, it was Rudolph.
Oh yeah, 100%.
100%.
By the way, I do want to make
100%.
note about that. That didn't look like a real deer head. It actually looked like it was made out of paper mache.
Oh, absolutely.
Whatever. I mean, whatever.
Pitchy pennies. It was
Yeah.
probably part of the
Yeah.
gimmick anyway.
The special effects took everything, which was well worth it because they were pretty fantastic.
Okay, so here's the note that I made when. Okay, so the bartender earlier, who is the waitress from Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure,
Who doesn't
shows
like
back
Christmas?
up. Who doesn't like Christmas? Fuck Xmas
Xmas.
on her hands. Shows up in the end on the bike to save Santa from Krampus. Is like, I got you. Don't worry about it. Whatever.
Take off, save the girls.
Yeah, totally. Her acting in this movie, Diane Salinger, is the best acting of the whole fucking movie. She was the
there wasn't a lot of
only
good
one
acting in there.
Who brought no.
There wasn't a lot.
No, there wasn't any good acting
Yeah,
in this movie.
I was
And I mean, and
giving it a little
again,
leeway.
even in the initial scene with Diane Salinger as the bartender in the bar, it wasn't all that great.
Not until this specific
But it
scene.
wasn't until the end where she was passionate about talking
Yeah.
shit to Santa, not as Santa, but as her ex-husband.
Yeah, absolutely. She was very into it.
That whole disdain between an ex-wife, a disgruntled ex-wife, and what she perceives to be as a fucking asshole
Yeah.
of an ex-husband.
Yeah, absolutely.
She brought that shit. And I wrote that down in my notes and I was like, dude, this is the best acting of this whole fucking movie.
And it caught me
Seriously.
off guard. I'll be honest with you. I didn't see that one coming.
Her
but-
being
yeah.
Mrs. Claus?
Claus?
Yeah,
No,
totally.
no,
I'm
no.
right there with you.
Not just that, but the outcome of this. Maybe we didn't talk about
No,
it
go
all.
ahead.
We haven't got there yet. We haven't
Okay,
got there
okay,
yet.
that's why I didn't say
A little
anything.
further into
Yeah, yeah. So okay, so what happens? So she shows up. She is
We're
trying
thinking
to
she's
help
gonna, yeah,
They're
we're-
gonna
she's
help
gonna
with the whole
kick
like.
ass.
She's here to
They're
save
gonna
the
do
day.
it. Right. Turns out she holds a grudge.
Very big one.
on her ex-husband. And she's not there to fight Krampus, but to actually allow Krampus to continue doing his deed of killing and do what he's supposed to do. So now we're inclined to believe that she's the one that had Krampus wrapped around her finger this whole time.
Correct. Yeah, as Paul said earlier, that she was very, I stuck with you through this thick and thin, and you're just this asshole, and it never got better. So I went ahead and found myself a new boyfriend, a new daddy, if you will, a new man to take over because you just weren't doing it for me.
And tell me, Raymond, what was he doing right after she told this story? Do you remember what Krampus was doing?
Oh, he was like all behind her, right? Kind of humping her and doing his thing again, kind of.
I didn't catch
You didn't
that.
catch it? He
I
was
didn't
like
catch
holding
it.
her. He was
I
just
didn't
like
catch it.
he was
was
just
like,
like humping her like this. Like, yeah,
Nah.
you tell
I was
Santa.
getting it.
You tell
I was
Santa what
getting
I
it.
did. You tell him how naughty I was being. Yeah, he was, and she was rubbing up against him. They were doing their thing. Yeah, it was a bit.
So they
Pretty much.
proceeded to well, it
Get on
looked like
Santa's
they were
sleigh,
yeah, and
and they were going to
right?
escape because I think they Santa's whole thing was that he had to freeze Krampus again, right before Christmas was over.
Sure,
Before midnight, he had to freeze him in
sure.
order to keep him from killing all these people or whatever the case
That's
was.
why it went from daylight to night. You
Correct.
just answered
Yeah.
that question.
it's
Yeah,
kind
okay.
of in 1 day span. Had to freeze him before midnight, so she was escaping with Krampus on Santa's sleigh, getting away from him. And then I don't think it was that point when the park ranger shoots Krampus that the girls realized, hey, Santa and Krampus are one and the same. If
Santa
you
got a
hurt
bullet wound.
right? Because Santa was like, "Oh shit, that fucking hurt." And I think at that point, the girls realize, "Hey, they're one and the same." So because you're so connected, they just put everything together fully. Because you guys are connected. If I hurt you, it hurts him, and if I hurt him, it hurts you. So how do I stop Krampus from getting away? I have to hurt Santa Claus. And she looked at him. I don't know who it was specifically.
It was what I would consider the main of the three girls, which was the new girl,
Alexi.
Yeah, it was her. She was holding that axe. It was that axe from.
I thought it was the girl with the red hair who was
that was
with the deputy.
It's the same one you're thinking of.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. She had the burgundy. It was like burgundy.
It wasn't red. It was like a dark burgundy.
Right.
But that's Alexi. That's the Christina Klebe.
Correct.
From Halloween. Yeah.
Okay. And she had the axe, and that's when she came to the realization she might have to kill Santa Claus with that axe.
Correct.
And as she's about to make that swing, obviously they've made friends with him and stuff. It's kind of a messed up situation, and Santa kind of just gives her the okay, like, you need to do it.
Right. Yeah. She looks at him like, you know what I have to do, and Santa's like, yeah, fucking do it. And then she takes the axe, comes across his face, and just decapitates him.
Takes off his head. Takes
off his head fully. You see it roll on the floor and everything. And what happens to Krampus at that point? I think you hear...
The sleigh is in the sky.
I missed it because I was writing notes.
Are you serious?
Okay. I'll tell you what happened.
Yeah, but I saw the after effect. I saw the after effect.
Matt will explain.
The sleigh was in the sky. So now that Santa is beheaded, they look up over and they're watching this sleigh, and it blows up.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
With the worst, cheapest fireworks explosion I've ever seen in my life. I mean, yeah. You're very slightly budgeted. I don't even think they really tried on it anyways.
I mean, they threw up one big firework and they just cut to it again and it just exploded. I mean, it's like you were watching it at the park almost. You know what I mean? But at that point, yeah, you killed Krampus, you killed the Mrs. Claus, you've killed Santa, and you've saved the world.
Question mark?
I mean, I really don't.
That's about
what happened.
Yeah, I think that's really the story that was told there. I think that was pretty much where it all wrapped up in the end. So, and if I want to get to this whole rating system bit when we get to this,
okay, all right.
I did think about what we should use on this one.
Okay.
Now, first I was thinking candy canes. It's Christmas related, but I was like, But when I thought of this later on, I was like, this is way better. I figured that we should rate these in those toothed hairy balls that we didn't really talk about
the hairy balls.
Were the hair balls that Krampus had.
Was putting in the Christmas present boxes. He was stuffing them. They ended up being furry, hairy
balls,
bitey balls. I mean, they came out looking.
They even called them hairy balls.
Hairy balls. I think maybe 2 or 3 times they've mentioned it.
So toothed hairy balls is, I think, the way we should.
Do you have an alternative suggestion? Oh my god, I can't even say that shit. I'm so fucking drunk.
I do not. I was trying to think all throughout the movie what we could use as the rating system, and I don't think there was anything that was very specific to what we should use. So I am okay with using the hairy balls.
The only thing that came to mind for me,
heels maybe.
The only thing that came to mind for me was cookies, because in every opportunity
that's right,
that Santa could
give in the cookie,
he presented cookies.
Yeah, you want a cookie?
Yeah.
Oh shit! You just went through this horrible experience. Would you like a cookie?
Yeah, there was a lot of cookies.
Not to get off on a side tangent, but I will say there are some fucking instances of Santa being really badass in this movie, where the girls were talking to the ex-boyfriend or the boyfriend that got ate up by Krampus, and they were like, "Hey, this is real Santa," and he was like, "Sup?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that.
We didn't talk about that.
Yeah,
Like Santa's like cool as shit
absolutely.
in this movie, and he's
he
like
was down to take
total
selfies.
fucking
He was down to
biker.
just,
Like,
No, I wasn't even talking about
Let's
that. I
fuck
was
his-
talking about
fuck
the
shit up.
boyfriend that just showed up randomly and stuff and just got
that
slaughtered.
guy
right
only
away.
lasted for like 4 seconds.
Yeah, but I just thought it was kind
That
of funny. I think
slice
we
in
all
half.
expected that.
Yeah.
You know, like, there's another throwaway
I
character.
think
just
my
popped in.
reaction to that whole like killing the boyfriend scene was like, thank God, because I couldn't fucking.
To be
I
honest,
can't last like.
I think you even said it while we were watching the movie.
Yeah,
You were
yeah,
like,
that's what I
dude,
said.
thank fucking God. I can't deal.
I
No more time
would
with
not
this
be able
guy.
to handle like more than like 5 minutes of this dude.
And
on
even though he
screen.
was on screen for
Thank-
like 2 minutes, maybe at most.
at
like,
the
it was
most,
very little.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember listening to you like, thank fucking God this guy got slashed up.
Okay. Let's circle back.
So,
Rating system.
Hairy balls or cookies?
keeping in the Christmas spirit, maybe we go with the cookies.
Sure,
Christmas
why not?
themed.
So,
Starting stage left to right. Matt, you go first.
I might have to think about this for a second.
And we're doing a scale of 1 to 5, correct?
1
to
being
5,
the
five
lowest,
being-
5 being the highest.
5 being the
Meaning,
highest.
hold on. Meaning, 1 is like 5
Being
cookies.
the worst film
Five
that
is,
you should
is
watch.
Troll 2.
5 is like this is the most horrible,
Greatest movie you should see. Correct.
No,
Like,
not
this is
great.
the-
this is
I
the-
wouldn't say great.
Okay, so this is like the best of the worst, right?
Yeah, but I feel like saying best is giving it way too much credit.
So this is
Worst
a
is good.
movie you
Worst is good in this podcast because we love B-rated horror films.
Have you changed the screen?
I don't know what happened.
There you go.
He's been drinking.
He's been drinking.
I have been drinking
That is a thing.
a lot. A lot.
I mean, we killed the whole bottle.
All right, you know what? I'll go and throw mine in there just real fast.
You killed
Okay,
the whole bottle? Okay. You single-handedly killed this entire bottle.
I'm about to drink this
I
up
give
for
you
the
a
last
1,
bit.
sir.
Y'all some bitches.
You guys want to polish these
All
off?
right.
Absolutely.
Ratings. Go.
ratings,
Go. Go ahead, Matt. Go.
This movie was ultimate trash. I'm gonna give it 4 stars. 4 cookies.
Ugh.
4 cookies.
Mm.
It was very low budget. Yeah.
Do we know what the budget was on this?
No,
You can tell just by looking at
You
it.
can look it up.
No,
if you
I
wish.
can't tell because my camera is
No, right
my
here.
phone and the
Go
phone
ahead.
is
That's
my
all
phone.
right.
right there for you.
But
So explain then your rating and why you gave a 4.
I give it a 4.
Okay.
Ultimate trash. I love it because it is trash.
Just why I give it a deuce, a 2,
Okay.
two
You're a,
two
little bit,
cookies.
you're a little bit more generous than I, because I want to give it 1.5 cookies. I
Oh,
feel
there we
like
go.
it was just on the lower scale of things, and I didn't really enjoy it as much as maybe, not that I thought I would, but I just didn't really enjoy it.
Was that because you're mad at the?
No, hold on.
Let's separate. Wait. Let's separate it.
Let's hear them out.
Were you mad going into it because we duped you?
I don't think that had any role in it.
absolutely not. Because
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
doesn't
I'm
seem
a big
like that.
fan of.
Well,
like,
it's worth the question, though, right?
I'm a big fan
Right.
of B horror films and kind of like the non-traditional type film that most other people would probably feel like, dude, this is not even worth my time of watching. You get 2 minutes into it and you back out. I stuck through it through the whole movie thinking, okay, Barry Bostwick's in it. Let's go ahead and give this a try. I do like him as an actor. Let's see where this goes. My biggest problem was that a lot of it was shot during the day, which we're we're referencing back to. A lot of it was shot during the day, and I didn't feel like with the techno music and the EDM music that was going
we
on.
didn't even really talk about that, but like
No.
the fucking dubstep in that movie.
Yeah, it was
oh my
a lot of
God.
dub, a lot of techno, a lot of just EDM. It took me out of the horror, scary thriller type feel and made it more like action comedy drama or action comedy thriller, if you will. I wanted to see a little bit more dark. I wanted to see a little bit more scary. I wanted maybe a couple more jump scares or something just creepy, and it just fell. It fell for me. It didn't do it. 5 minutes into the movie, it was just bright as can be, and it was daytime. And even when they got to the village, it was like, how come there's no creepy vibe to this? How come it's not dark and scary and, sounds are going off? It was just merry and la-di-da. I don't know to Barry Boswick, though, for stepping out of that comfort zone of like big budget things to doing this low budget film. I mean, I know actors get wrapped up in the I have to do it because if I don't, I'm not relevant anymore, or whatever the case is, or maybe this was a passion project of his. So I'm
or maybe he knew somebody,
or maybe he knew somebody that just said, "Hey, you want to be a part of my film because you're kind of a big star. It might draw more attention."
Maybe it was just broke.
I mean, yeah, Rocky Horror doesn't last forever, I guess. But no, I was very, very pleased to see him still doing his thing. But yeah.
Okay, all right. Official scores. So Matthias the Eel.
I gave it a 4.
4. All right, hold up.
Absolute trash. I loved it.
Okay. 4. Rain?
1.5 cookies.
1.5. I give it a 2. So that is an average of 9.5 cookies, Christmas cookies, divided by 3. That is 3.16 cookies per judge. So we officially rate Sleigh Bells 3.17 Christmas cookies.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Go for it. No, go.
By all means, I mean, go out and watch this movie. Like I've always said, everybody has their own opinion on films. Don't take my word for it. Go out and watch it. It's always fun to see something new. It's not a long movie. It's only what 77 minutes.
An hour and 17 minutes.
There we go. Mm-hmm. So I mean, you'll get through it like that, no problem.
Yeah.
I will say I think episode 3, the last episode, I told Matt I was a little concerned about the rating system because I don't listen to fucking movie critiques. Fuck whatever anybody says about any movie.
Absolutely.
I'm going to go watch it for myself. If I think it looks dope or if I think if it piques my interest, whatever, I'm still going to go watch it for myself.
Yeah.
So don't fucking listen to what we're saying.
Not at all.
Just go watch it for
Just
yourself.
listen to the podcast.
Sleigh Bells, 2018.
Get back on the video. Rate
Totally.
it. We'd love to know what you guys thought about it because, I mean, that's really what we're doing here. We want to see and know what everybody else thinks about this film because fuck what I say or fuck what these guys say. What are you thinking about?
Subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, add the fucking comment. Let us know what you think. Mutant City Horror, and episode 4.
Just wanted to say that's where we end our latest episode of Mutant City Horror. I am so thankful we had our guest Raymond here with us. Everyone, always remember, we all have love for B-rated horror. There is no shame.
Whether you know it or not.
There is no shame in being a fan yourself. And we love that kind of shit. We love you guys. Please have a good night, wonderful holiday, and Happy New Year to you all. We love you.
Big shout out to Hoodie Hero. Thanks for the theme. Bumping that shit right now.
Absolutely.
Hell fucking yeah.
Shout out to my boy Dano at work.
Yeah.
And whoever your dude is who thinks I don't know who Dick Miller is.
That would be Dano.
Fuck you. Alright, fuck Dano. Matt says good looking out, Dano. I say